What is up, YouTube, everyone watching right now? Today, we're going to be talking about Jesus walking on the sea today. Okay, Jesus Christ walking on water. Okay, now I've read Matthew, the entire book of Matthew. I'm reading the Bible all the way through. So if you want to watch the full chapter of Matthew 14, click up here. Then you can, the entire thing. It's ESV, this is King James Version. I'm just going to read Matthew 14, verse 22 through 33 today. That's the part where, Jesus is walking on water, okay? And, wait, I haven't done a video on Jesus walking on water and really kind of explaining it. I can't believe that. I can't believe I haven't done a video on that. I mean, I've read it, but, I haven't, really talked about it. So, Matthew chapter 14, verse 22. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. So Jesus sent his disciples on a ship to meet him to the other side of wherever they were going. Verse 23. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. So he went up to a mountain to pray. Verse 24. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. So the boat is shaking and all this. And then verse 25. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. So Jesus is going to them, walking on the sea. Pretty amazing. I can't believe that Jesus was actually walking on the sea, which is amazing. I would really like to go see where Jesus was walking on the sea. Verse 26. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit! And they cried out for fear. So the disciples in this boat, and tossing, the boat's shaking everywhere, and they see someone walking on the sea, they're very surprised. They're very fearful right now, because they think it's a spirit, okay, some really bad spirit or something like that. But straightway Jesus spoke unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, is I, be not afraid. So Jesus was like, it's me, don't be afraid, okay? Jesus was like, don't be afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. So Peter's like, if it's really you, let me come and walk on the water, okay? Let me go and walk in the water. Let's see what Jesus has to say. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. So Jesus was like, come here. Basically, he didn't believe him. So then Jesus said, okay, then, you can walk in the water. And then he did. He walked on the water. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. So basically, he was afraid. When the wind was really bad, he was afraid. And he started sinking in the water. And immediately, Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, Art thou of little faith? Wherefore didst thou doubt? So he was doubting Jesus' power, Jesus' way. He was doubting that Jesus could save him. The wind, and he was so afraid. Just don't be afraid. And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. So, and then when they all went in the ship, the wind ceased, and it was completely quiet. And then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. So this that proved to all the disciples that he was truly the Son of God. That proved. That just goes to say that we are to not trust in our own understanding and trust in Jesus, because if we don't trust in Jesus, we're just gonna sink. Just like Peter was sinking when he wasn't trusting in God. And because of the wind, he was like, oh no, there's wind coming, so afraid, not trusting in God, because, when tough times come, we just gotta trust in God and not just be all fearful and stuff, because Peter was very fearful, and that's why he sank. But if he would have trusted in God, he would have been able to walk all the way to Jesus without sinking. He would have been able to, but Jesus had to help him up, because, I don't know if he really walked on water if Jesus helped him up, but, he had to help Peter, because he wasn't relying on God, wasn't relying on Jesus. So without further ado, I'm going to pray. Dear Jesus, thank you for this wonderful day that you've given us. I just pray that people would put your faith, put their trust in you, Lord, and not be afraid when tough times come, and when trials come their way, that they just trust in you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!